Arthur Morgan is not a hero. He's actually far from it. And that's exactly the point, and exactly why Red Dead Redemption 2 hits so hard for so many people and completely misses for others. Arthur is a violent outlaw, a man who spent most of his life confusing loyalty with obedience. Someone who learned early that emotions should stay quiet, buried beneath work, fists, and gunfire. Rockstar does something cruel with him. They let him live long enough to understand exactly what he wasted. So let me ask you something. Did you feel sorry for Arthur while playing the game? And if you did, why? On paper, the honor system sounds simple, almost childish. White means good, red means bad. But in practice, it's not a morality meter. It's a personality test. One that quietly asks who you think Arthur Morgan really is. Do you walk away when insulted, or do you swing? Do you help a stranger because it feels right, even when kindness gets you ambushed? Arthur never pretends to be a good man, and that's why the honor system works. It reveals something uncomfortable. Arthur can be good. He's just not naturally built for it. Violence feels easier. Kindness feels like punishment. That's not an accident. Arthur was raised by Dutch van der Linde, who taught him how to be useful, not reflective, loyal, not curious, strong, as long as strength never turned inward and never pointed back at Dutch himself. Arthur's masculinity at the start of the story is built on three rules: loyalty, violence, and silence. And Red Dead Redemption 2 is a tragedy about what happens when a man realizes those rules were wrong, too late. Then there's Mary Linton. Mary represents the life Arthur could have had, the normal life. And every time she reaches out, Arthur responds like someone who believes goodness isn't meant for him. He writes letters he never sends, dreams about futures he knows he'll destroy. He loves her the only way he knows how, by staying away. Because deep down, Arthur believes he doesn't deserve that life. And then comes Thomas Downs. This is the moment the game stops being GTA with horses and becomes something far darker. Arthur beats a sick man for money, and that single act infects everything that follows. Not just physically, but morally. Arthur doesn't get sick because the world is unfair. He gets sick because actions have consequences. For the first time in his life, Arthur can't punch his way out. He's forced to sit with himself, and he hates what he sees. Helping Edith and Archie Downs doesn't erase what he did, and Red Dead Redemption 2 never pretends it does. That's the cruelty. Even when Arthur tries to do good, the damage remains. Masculinity for Arthur begins to change. It stops being about domination and becomes about accountability. Then comes Sister Calderon. She doesn't lecture him. She listens. And because she listens, Arthur finally says the things he's been choking down for years. I'm afraid. And in that moment, Red Dead Redemption 2 pulls its greatest trick. It makes vulnerability feel brave. Arthur thinks it's shameful and does it anyway. That's masculinity evolving in real time. By the end, the honor system decides what kind of story you believe this is. Low honor Arthur becomes what the world expects, a man who learns nothing. High honor Arthur becomes something rarer, a man who does good without expecting forgiveness, because he knows forgiveness may never come. Arthur doesn't die redeemed because redemption isn't a reward. It's a choice. And in the end, Arthur chooses someone else's future over his own pride. He gives John Marston something he never gave himself, a way out. Arthur Morgan dies knowing exactly who he became. And maybe that's why this story still hurts. Because most of us don't get clean redemption arcs either. Just moments. Small chances to do something right before time runs out. And maybe that's why, years later, we're still talking about Arthur Morgan.